Hey everybody, got something special for you. As you probably guessed from the thumbnail and the title, I'm going hunting. It's going to be my first hunt ever, and I am super excited. There's a guy, he's a CRNA up in the Tampa area. We belong to some of the same Facebook groups, and being that he's a CRNA, automatically, trustworthy. So I've been talking to him in Messenger, and I asked him some hunting questions because he goes hunting, posts pictures and stuff like that. And he invited me up for one of his hunts and said he wasn't going to go before New Year's, but then a landowner called him and said some coyotes killed one of their calves. So what you don't know about Florida is that once you get away from the coast, for the most part, Orlando and Tampa, Gainesville, like those types of areas are the exception. But for the most part, once you get further inland, it's very rural and agricultural. There's livestock and crops, and these nuisance animals such as coyote and hog, they really pose a problem to landowners. And it's a little bit more prevalent than I even thought, because I took care of a guy, gave him anesthesia, and I was talking to him, and somehow we got on the topic, and he owned a lot of property, and sure enough, he had people out in the past to hunt on his property, those nuisance animals. So I got invited. I'm headed up to just a little north of Lake Okeechobee, so it's not too far from me, and I'm going to be using his rifle. It's a suppressed Daniel Defense 5.56 with a thermal scope on it. And so I'm going to Bass Pro. I'm going to look for some ammo, some Barnes or Hornady varmint. And then I got to go to Publix for some ice and some drinks and some storage bags in case we run into some hog, not just coyote. So we're going to head to Bass Pro, we're going to head to Publix, and then we'll pick it up on the way. We are looking for Barnes 70 grain 5.56, and we are looking for Hornady 55 grain Varmint Express. We've got the Hornady 223 VMAX. We're going to get a couple bucks of that. In case we get into some hog, I've got some ice, I got some storage bags, got some drinks, got the big Yeti. Let's go. Oh yeah.
Call and they come right in. We've had coyotes come into like 25 yards.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Are they aggressive toward you?
No, they're just usually just curious, and they come, right up to the call, and pretty easy pickings. We've also had coyotes. We've also had coyotes who, if they're kind of skittish and stuff, they'll try and circle and try and wind you, and usually when we see that going on, we have to take 150, 250 yard shot.
Okay.
Which both of these guns would. Even that 10.5, it's I think the furthest I shot with that was 225 from coyote.
This is what the hogs do. They mess up the ground. So they definitely live over here. That's crazy. That's the weapon of choice. Suppressed. Daniel Defense with a thermal scope. Pretty dope.
That's a good size bobcat. Holy hell.
Man,
Oh shit.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. That's amazing. If only we were hunting for deer. If only we were hunting for deer. That guy sees us, and those two have no idea. Back at the house, recap time. It was an awesome night overall. I got there a few minutes after Brian showed up, and we loaded up into his truck. We kind of just chatted around. That's when you saw us in the car talking, and we were just kind of scouting the area, looking for hog and whatnot, until we got all the way around the property. It was a 450 acre private property, and the landowner called up Brian or texted him saying that the calf was killed by some coyote. So he, calls on these guys to go dispose of them, to the nuisance animals. So we were just kind of looking around until it got dusk, and we perched up on this little mound so that we had a good point of view. He put out a coyote call. What you saw on the thermal, so the black and white thermal that you saw was his rifle. That was on his rifle. And then the tropical palette was on mine, and the night vision that you saw was me just holding my phone behind the night vision and just kind of panning around, and the same with that color palette. So definitely really awesome technology. I'd never even looked through night vision before, and it's pretty awesome. The thermal scope was pretty awesome. You saw me panning the black and white. My mustache has its own heat signature. It was definitely a different heat signature than my face, which is pretty cool. But it was a really awesome night. It was slow. It was a slow night overall. So the first thing that we saw that came into the thermal was that bobcat. And when he took the image on his thermal and then he downloaded it to his phone and texted it to me, and then I uploaded it. It lost a lot of resolution. So in the future, we're gonna work on that overall to get some better clarity. When I look at it on my phone, it's pretty awesome. You could see the ears of the bobcat, and the follow-up shot, you could see it go right through the shoulder, and that's where, when we hung it up at the end, that's where the blood was dripping from. But the bobcat, and then I saw a coyote, and he and I are both positive that I struck it with a round, but it ran away because I didn't, it's the first time I ever fired at anything that was not a target. So it was just, and it wasn't my thermal scope, it was my scope, I wasn't familiar with it. I had a Geisley trigger, it's just stuff that I'm not familiar with. So I missed the main part of the coyote, but we are certain that I hit it and we just couldn't find it because it was dark. So we counted that as a hit but not recovered. And then the last one you saw was a coyote. It was probably a 200-yard shot, and we just both missed, and it ran away to some thicker brush. But overall, it was an awesome night. Definitely looking forward to the next time. We might go to all the properties in one night, and then that's like 3,000 acres overall. I'm excited. That was fun. So I'm looking forward to doing it again. Let me know what you thought. Hopefully we'll have a little bit higher budget production next time, something that a little bit more clarity, but that's what we got for now. Like and subscribe, leave a comment in the comment section below. We'll see you in the next video.